Welcome to the Needham Free Public Library Board of Trustees, June 9th, 2026, open public meeting for the Needham Library Board of Trustees being held via hybrid format, allowing remote attendance. First, I'm just going to take the roll call. Kay Cahill.
Here.
Rob Pettit.
Here.
Joshua Small.
Here.
Megan Small.
Here.
Jay Fialkoff.
Here.
And myself, Michael O'Neill. Library Staff Director Diana Findler stepping in tonight.
Here.
Administrative Specialist Jenna White.
Here.
Program Specialist Gay Ellen Dennett.
Here.
Recording Secretary Faith Chrisley.
Here.
Do we have any other attendees? Do we have a representative from the Library Foundation of Needham? No? Okay. This meeting is being recorded. This meeting is being recorded. If there is a problem that prevents this completion of this meeting, we will reconvene at 7 p.m. on July 14th, 2026. I hereby call this meeting to order of the Needham Free Public Library Board of Trustees at, let's see, what time do we have? Fine, 7:05 p.m. Public comments. Citizens are welcome to speak up to 3 minutes each, not to exceed a total of 10 minutes. Citizens are encouraged to inform the library director in advance of their intention to speak. Those who provide advance notice will be called upon first. While the board will take public comments under advisement, there may be no opportunity for discussion or debating during this portion of the meeting. Okay, first item up, request a motion to approve the minutes of the, what is that? Sorry. May, what's that? What's that?
May 12th.
May 12th minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Any? Okay. Okay, we'll do a roll call vote.
As far as discussion, I'll only mention
Thank
that I
you.
wasn't here for that, but I did watch
Troublemaker.
the recording of the meeting on Zoom, so on the link. Yeah, okay.
Kay Cahill,
Aye.
Rob Pettit,
Aye.
Jay Fialkoff,
Aye.
Megan Small,
Aye.
Joshua Small,
Aye.
and myself, Michael O'Neill, aye. Minutes are approved unanimously. Okay. All right, let's start this. Okay, we can start, Diana, with the director's report.
All right, thank you. I'm happy to share the director's report for May 2026. We'll start with the department highlights. We are busy getting ready and we are starting the summer reading program. So staff from the children's department have been really busy getting the books for the school's summer reading list. So that was Carolyn, Gina, and Wendy have been doing that. Our other programs have been receiving a lot of positive feedback from patrons, including our story time. As mentioned at the last board of trustees meeting, the Hash the Chicken is also been very popular, and they have hashed and now returned to their home at the farm.
To live a long life, right?
And we've had several other programs, such as the Ballet Academy, Russian Reading Circle. We had the Chinese Friends of Needham provide a Chinese story time. The Bierman Autism Center also provided a story time. And we had our last community leaders story time with our outreach police officer and Rocket, the police dog. And then on top of that, we've also continued doing Read to a Dog program, thanks to that community leader story time with the police outreach dog. In the circulation department, we have two part-time staff members that joined in the beginning of May, Amanda McClure and Tessa Thierry DeVita, started their onboarding and as their part-time role in the library circulation assistants. And we've also added 2 new museum passes, the Paul Revere Museum of Innovation and Discovery in Canton, and then the Hale Education South Beach in Westwood. So those 2 new museum passes have been added. In the technical service department, that team this past month processed and cataloged more than 1,200 items. For the whole month of May.
What's the record? It sounds like a lot.
That sounds
It's
like,
around that amount. The previous month was about 1,100, so it's we're gearing up towards the end, so it's yeah. And then in the technology and archives department, Keith LaFace, the temporary library technology specialist, will be staying on until June 23rd to continue to assist with the library technologies needs. In the reference department, in May, Needham Library cardholders borrowed over 12,000 items from Libby, and then we had 1,272 checkouts in Hoopla. And then this is something that's really cool. In May, we were working on the reference department, the children's department, and administration worked to incorporate our community room to be available to be booked online, like our study rooms. So
Oh.
now it's a form that you can do
Oh,
online
great.
instead of paper form. Staff will still have to approve requests, but it's done online now. And then on May 18th, Erin gave a tour of the teen room to 25 students from the high school. They were part of the AP seminar course. The students were studying how community spaces function and how environments shape human connection. So the class were given a tour and then they asked questions and they gave answers.
If the students ever prepare a report, I'd be curious to see it. There may be something good in it for us to use
Yeah.
at some point.
And then in terms of building maintenance, the water fountain by the first floor restroom was fixed. And a quarterly maintenance check and filter replacement for the AC units took place. And a monthly pest control also occurred on May 21st. And then just to reiterate some of the things that happened with the other departments in terms of community engagement. Again, the Charles River Ballet Academy performed. We had Kasiariana Aniskovic conducted a Russian reading circle, and then the police officers came with Rocket the Dog. The Chinese Friends of Needham provided Chinese story time. The Bierman Autism Center provided a sensory story time. And then, as mentioned earlier, we did a teen room tour for the AP seminar students. And then towards the end of May, myself, Erin, and Rob met with staff from Dedham Savings Bank to learn about their financial literacy program for teens.
how's that progressing?
So we're looking into potential dates and see if this is something we could implement here.
Excellent.
And then in terms of personnel, as you may have heard, we are holding our children's supervisor, Paula Dugan, is retiring. So we're holding a party for her on her last day, which is Friday, June 26th at 3 p.m. in the community room. Her last day, as I said, is going to be June 26th. She has been with the library over 11 years. 11 years, yeah. So she started in 2014. And during that time, she's developed a lot of popular and well-received series of programs. And she's developed partnerships with a lot of the schools and the community here. Kelsey.
I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna be away that week and won't be able to come to attend that, but I'll be sure. I keep looking for Paula when I come by to visit and I haven't seen her, but I'll be sure to see her before I go and express how deeply grateful I am for all that she's accomplished in that department. We see up close each week the list of all these programs and it's really just awesome, let alone what it's like to just walk around there on a Saturday, Sunday for me. So anyway, I'll express my thanks now. I'll find Paula, but I'm unfortunately going to not be able to see you all at that Friday party.
Just will be here a few more weeks until the end of June. Kelsey Figueiredo, a part-time children's reference librarian, resigned due to the length of her commute after moving to a new residence. Her last day was May 23rd. Emma White, a full-time library circulation assistant who joined the team in February, also resigned. She's moving back to Maine. Her last day will be June 29th. We have two new part-time children's reference librarian in the that started June 1st, Sarah Durkin and Madison Newton. And then Paula and I reviewed applications for the part-time children's page position, and we did interview several candidates, and we're hoping to have somebody hired in the next few weeks. And candidates for the children's supervisor position, Rob and I will be interviewing those candidates during the week of June 15th.
So may I ask a question? Has that been posted and is the posting closed at this point?
Yeah, so for the children's supervisor position, we posted it for 3 weeks in early May, and it has closed. It closed sometime last week. And I think we received over 20 applications.
Right.
Rob and I have reviewed them, and so we've scheduled interviews for next week.
Mm-hmm. So far, do you feel like you have a sufficient number of high-quality candidates as yet?
We scheduled a few folks, so we're hopeful that we'll have somebody in that position not too long after all our.
I just hope it goes well. I mean, it's such a crucial position, so I'm wishing you well on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just think it would be a great spot for someone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Work with you and Rob and the whole
Especially
team.
as we embark on that phase
Yeah.
2 will be really interesting.
It'll be important to have that person in place.
Absolutely, yeah. And then just our Sunday hours of operation have changed to 1 to 5, starting Sunday, May 24th. So this is our summer Sunday hours. The teen room. So for the month of May, we had 3,722 people visit the teen room. So that's a large number comparatively. And I just went down this afternoon after school, and it's buzzing. All 4 areas, you know, the study group area, the quiet area, all of it was just full of people collaborating. So it's really well used.
Is the quiet area, I know that it was the last couple of times I've gone through, it's kind of warm. And is there something being looked at in terms of reconstituting the airflow?
When I pass by, I see quiet people working. I haven't heard other folks mention the temperature in there.
Okay.
We can make sure that during days when it is warm and the sun's coming in, we can just make sure that that's checked.
Is school still in session?
Yes.
Because I think you should, while it's crowded and buzzing, you should take some pictures and some video for us to have a record of that, because the semester will end and we won't be able to have it. We're trying to marshal anything we can to help, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, you might already have that, but.
Are we allowed to take video?
Yeah, I think we just want to be mindful of taking pictures. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think school, the last day of school is the 20th.
In the policies, don't we?
22nd.
Yeah, it's that.
Monday,
yeah, the 22nd is
half
a
day
half
Monday.
I have a feeling that after another week, it's gonna slow down a bit, because that's when the finals are really kicking in. I don't anticipate there's gonna be a lot of.
College study week is coming.
That's why I figured if we can get
That's what they're doing
some
now.
photos now.
Yeah, so the summer reading, so that's the teen room. It's pretty well.
Can I actually ask a question about the summer reading, because it was mentioned in the children's program as well? Have we looked into doing an adult summer reading program? Many of our peer libraries around here do one. Like just a quick.
Yeah, I thought we did one last year. I thought it was both
We
adults.
did, yeah, last year we
and
did
kids.
do
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So we did an adult summer reading as well as a teen summer reading and a children's
Right,
summer
right, right.
reading. The adult one was kind of like a game board where you you follow this track and you read the books. I think we're slightly behind this month with that, but we'll definitely make sure that that's something that ideally would be like the whole Needham library summer reading and not.
Yeah, that's also part of like outreach to the adult community as well.
So, yeah, that's something to make note that potentially next year we'll make sure that that happens. But if you see, back to the children's, you can see the dinosaurs out there. That's the theme on Earth a Story. So that's the theme. So it's a perfect one for getting kids very, very excited about that. And then in terms of the Needham Poet Laureate Program, the application period for a new Poet Laureate was extended until May 31st, and no applications were received. And so our current Poet Laureate and NIDM has agreed to stay on in this role through June 30th, 2027.
We should add to her responsibilities the responsibility of getting the next.
Find a successor.
Poet laureate.
So we're very fortunate to continue to have Ann Needham.
She's great.
Incredible Poet Laureate for Needham. So we're very fortunate and grateful that she's continuing on through next year. In terms of the financial reports, we'll start with the operating budget. So as of June 1st, 2026, the remaining balance for salaries is 16.1%. And for expenses and for books, periodicals, audiovisual, and databases, we have a remaining balance of 20%. We are working really hard to make sure that invoices are submitted and books are ordered and arrive on time to get what our community needs for the summer. So we are.
The fiscal year ends
June 30th.
June 30th?
Yes. So we are hopeful that we'll be able to get those books on the shelves. That's for the operating budget. And then the next one is the state aid report. In late April, we received our second state aid award in the amount of $40,497.18. And this month, we spent the funds on Overdrive ebook licenses, the Library Solutions style guide creation. So this is something that the Needham style guide, editorial style guide, is something that we've been working on this past few months. We've been meeting with the consultant, and Rob and I are in our final stages to kind of make changes and recommendations and finalizing that. It is currently at 56 pages, so we're looking.
And it's the style guide that shows style with regard to what, just so that understand what it is.
Yeah, so it's kind of standards on how we call the library. So we want to be able to make sure that all staff consistently call it Needham Free Public Library. What specific font do we use for flyers and events that we put on our website? How do we consistently write down the time? Do we use AM, PM? Do we put A.M. period? How do we abbreviate?
We capitalize library.
Yes.
Right, when you say the library?
Yeah,
Do
so
you?
it's, if it's. Yeah.
I do.
So it does talk about, for example, how the trustees are referred to, if it's capitalized, so it's a lot of details. And so hopefully they'll help with our one of our action items, which is, communication and all that, so.
You said that was 56 pages? Wow, that's a lot of work. Great,
Yes.
great job.
We're very excited about launching that. And part of that too, we had a consultation with the consultant, and this particular vendor does specifically work with libraries, so that's why it's library solutions. And then part of this will also include staff training too. So it's not just Rob and myself consulting with the consultant, but it's also gonna involve staff training. And then we have the bookmarks. And then the last item spent this month was for the Strength motion picture movie license to show 1776, which is going to be shown this Sunday at Town Hall at 2:00.
And that one needs a fuller, more expensive license because it's a more public presentation as opposed to just the standard license of movie 1776. Because I know we have licenses.
They probably consider the size of the audience.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Is that, as opposed to one like you can show it on this screen under the standard license that the library has.
We have an annual license.
Right.
And it's location specific.
Just for the library specifically.
That's the state aid, and then the next one is trust funds. Big change with this one, as you can see, the permanent donation fund.
Thank you.
The second column there, the monthly receipt. There's an amount of $541,202.14. That's the Robert T. Murray donation that's been added.
That makes it a good month.
So that's the change from the previous month for trust funds. And I think the next thing is statistics, yeah. So this is the May statistics report. For the most part, the numbers don't fluctuate much. But we've added a couple of numbers here where we break out. We've added the team room based on the request last time. You can see the first number, 23,000, that's the number of people, Rosemary and Highland. And then we also have a people counter in the children's room, and then now the team room. These are based on the 2 doors that are installed in the team room. So
It's encouraging, very encouraging.
I'll be curious to see how this pie chart evolves between the physical and the electronic, if it does over the next year.
Yeah, I think one of the discussions in the past also was that the electronic content continues to grow, and then the physical materials are declining, or just the electronic content continues to go up.
I like this. This is like such a nice thing, just as a reference.
Do they post this in the library?
We don't post it, this is just, yeah.
Should they be posted?
I don't think we need to.
Yeah,
No? Okay.
I think this is just a month to month.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Those people would, it shows off well the library and all it does, but.
I think it's in,
I thought we discussed putting it in like monthly library notes, like in the email newsletter, as opposed to posting it.
Maybe that's what I mean, just
Yeah,
sharing,
I think we-
sharing the information.
Once we got it down to what we like, I thought we discussed putting it in there for like, so that way people who are interested can look at it, but it's not like necessarily having to print it out and post it in the library.
Yeah, I have seen other libraries have it once a month posted on their homepage website. But not many. A lot of times they do it on an annual basis, not on a monthly basis.
that might be interesting.
Well, we should consider that.
The numbers might be a bit more significant if it's on an annual basis. Instead of.
Especially as we go towards looking at phase 2. I think Jay's concern is, it's a good idea.
But annually might also help in that too, in
Yes.
case that way.
Because it's a larger,
Right.
and it's a combined total of the whole, so.
Mhm.
Say if there were 45,000 teens coming in the teen room versus 3,700.
Mhm.
Yeah, yes.
But that's something that we could do at the end of the fiscal year on our website. Which might have, like I said, larger numbers instead of the monthly ones.
It might be worth at least, maybe not the whole thing, but at least like for the next library note, just putting a little note. In the first month the teen room was open, it was used by 3,700 teens. Like just to show, like to the community that it, like the value.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And it's great to have for next year lobbying finance committee and town manager for the position.
Right, it's 3,700 visits, that's 100 a day.
Yeah.
For financial reports. And then for GEIB efforts, we've had the different story times. We also have a book display of Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. On the second floor, we have teen mental health book display. And you'll see on the next page of the director's report, the number of books that were ordered in those categories. Is the end of
Wonderful. That was really good. I think I had a question, but it skipped my mind. But in any case, anybody, any questions or thoughts about the report? We'll move on to our new business. Have to vote to accepting the list of gifts. Do I have a
So
motion?
moved, yeah.
Okay.
Second.
There we go. Diana?
So the list of gifts, we had $68.50 anonymously donated. And then the second donation was the Robert Murray donation in the amount of $541,133.64.
It's such a generous gift. Has anything done to sort of publicize it for the benefit of giving them, acknowledging the gift? I don't know. It just feels very substantial. That's my first comment. Then I'm curious if we have a sense of what would exactly be covered by this non-routine maintenance and repairs, which seems to be what did they have in mind? What do we have in mind in terms of how might we be using the money?
We're still in discussion. I don't think anything final has been decided on. It's an incredibly generous amount of money, so I think we want to make sure that we're very responsible.
Is this not ordinarily the sort of money that we would expect the town to be paying? The, repairs to structure, or is that not something that's typically covered by?
Well, this is non-routine, so I would think that could be used for phase 2 for the children's room.
So is that what I'm trying to understand? That's what we're imagining possibly?
We mentioned it the last one, nothing's, something Diana said, nothing's been final.
I see. Okay.
It seems.
I think, Jay, correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like you're asking what isn't non-routine stuff that should be covered by the town? Why is
That's yeah.
Right. Like why should this donation be theoretically used for the phase 2 if the town should be the one that's?
But at the same time, my sense is that perhaps this donation is needed in order to combine with what the town can offer in order to accomplish the goal of that renovation, which.
And at the last town meeting, we saw that the phase 2 was pushed out to 2032 or something like that. So, yeah.
Maybe that can put us back into the
Phase 2.
Phase 2 of
our
our planned
Has-
renovations.
Has been pushed back to
It
2032?
was on an exhibit, my fellow town meeting members can correct me if I'm wrong here, but it was during the finance committee presentation about our debt load as a town, and because of the quiet zone plus Pollard, all the other capital projects need to be pushed back in order to keep our percentage within, we won't be able to keep it within our ideal one, but to have us not exceed too much for the financial health of the town. So, well,
Yes, Megan, yes, they did definitely
Yeah.
post that as, I mean, it's not a firm decision, but that's the sort of projection, right? From the finance committee. So that's something we need to be aware of. And regarding this donation, when we get to the point where we and the library together have come up with an idea of how it might be best put to use, and make a plan for that, we could do a press release on it and announce it to the community that this wonderful donation has been made. Have a news story about it and how it might be, how we might decide to use it.
And so I'm sorry, because I didn't attend town meeting, but am I correct in understanding that this means we're really not going to move forward with our efforts to persuade the town to put all this on next year's budget? Is that? Does
No,
all of this
I don't think that's
involve
what
a change of plans?
I don't think that's what we're saying. I think that
We can
just,
still push for that.
yes,
Yes.
exactly. It was just indicated to us that the finance committee's perspective is that phase 2 is way down the pipe now.
Got it. Well, that's not a total shock, I suppose.
And as far as I'm aware, nobody's come out and said that, nobody's actually told us face to face, at least that I'm aware of. It was just in a slide buried somewhere. So I don't know the degree of finality with that, or if it's just a projection and they're trying to kind of slot things in.
Right. It was within the discussion of the Pollard project, which included a very, very conservative dollar amount based on a 7% interest rate, which is not likely to happen. So a lot of it, there's going to be a lot of moving pieces, but I think that there will be other things in front of us, sort of what they kind of warned us at the outset.
Okay.
And Pollard is going to do a lot for the finances for the town.
As well as the quiet zone.
Yes, the
Yeah.
quiet zone as well as debt that is also counting towards the levy and everything for that.
I think in a larger kind of picture too, this finding out and figuring out how this can be utilized by the library. It might be various different avenues we can go down to help our promotion of our phase 2, that we are bringing something to the table. If that follows under those guidelines, and figuring out what those are, it's still kind of vanilla. So once we kind of get that, I think between all of us, we can figure out a strategy just so that we have kind of like the same style line when we're talking points and promoting this, and really kind of individually kind of reaching out to people we know just to kind of put us back into focus.
Yeah, regardless, it's an amazing gift, and
Definitely.
all of our thanks to Robert Murray. Also, I mean, he gave gifts. I'm not sure if you saw that, Jay, or heard that this was 1/8 of his estate.
Yes.
To many other charities as well. So
Wonderful.
we are very thankful
Yes.
to have the issue of figuring out what to do with the money.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. Yes. Wow. Okay, with that being said, we do have a
motion.
motion in a second. Okay. Kay Cahill to accept this motion is to accept the gift of $68.50 from an anonymous anonymous donor, excuse me. And then the very wonderful gift of $541,133 $64 from Robert T. Murray.
Hi.
I almost said Erhard Grave. Jay Fialkoff.
Aye.
Megan Small.
Aye.
Joshua Small.
Aye.
Rob Pettit.
Aye.
And myself, Michael O'Neill. Aye. The gifts have been accepted unanimously. Awesome. I think we should give a applause to Mr. Murray and our family for doing that. I think, like Jay was saying, maybe there's something we can do to reach out to their family. To acknowledge that. I think that's a great idea. I don't know the protocol for it, if that would go through you and Rob, but anything we can do as a board to substantiate that, and we will back you 100%.
Yeah, I think it'll be nice also, once we do have a final decision, to include acknowledgement and thank you letter alongside how the funds are going to be used. I think that has a larger impact, so but that's a good idea to make.
But I don't know that we're gonna know how the funds are gonna be used so soon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just a plan of how it's
Okay.
going to be used, yeah.
Amazing. And I got the chance to sign that, so
you
that
did,
felt
Yeah.
felt pretty. It's like I was trying to write my name in there, but it wasn't working. Diana wasn't having it. Okay. Okay, we're at the point where we have our action plan. So trustee review of goals 3 and 4, Kay and myself. Kay, did you want to go first, just so that we're mindful?
Why don't, since you largely handled goal 3 and I largely handled goal 4, why don't you start with goal 3?
Okay, I just was.
Unless you prefer to do the other way around. Either way.
I was just thinking of how you were feeling. So.
No, oh, thank you. I'm hanging in there. Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
All right. You got it. All right then. Goal 3, I had that, and Kay and I and Rob and Diana, we sat in a lengthy meeting to discuss this. And goal 3 was to offer a user experience created to specific wants and needs of the Needham community. The main objective was to improve service space, outreach, and resource for emerging adults. The trustee comments: the library staff should be commended for their efforts to provide a sense of normalcy for our emerging adults as our construction of phase 1 began. Phase 1 construction presented some unique problems in providing library services. The space allocated planning during this phase was crucial to ensuring the least amount of disruption for all library patrons. The level of planning, I have to say, ran smoothly, and the patrons understood that the staff were there for them. I think that was really great.
Can I ask just a question about our process? Is it necessary for us to read aloud all of the comments? Is that how we ordinarily do it? It's fine with me. I'm just curious whether that's the process.
Well, we can go just to the trustee comments if that's.
I only just ask however you guys think is the appropriate way to review this. We're all looking at it and reading it, I suspect.
We can summarize.
Okay, so why don't I do this? I will just go to the top matrix of categories and then just read the trustee comments.
And if it's easy to read, that's fine also.
So do you want us to read?
Whatever you're comfortable. Yes. I didn't try and make it more complicated.
You always cause some trouble. You know that? Wait until you're chair again. All right. Priority action items, you guys can see that. I think why we read it is so that the general public.
And I think you're right. I apologize. Feel free to do it. I think.
Yeah, it's just,
okay.
This was just a test, but we're doing well. Okay, priority action items for FY 2026. And it's just during phase 1 construction, staff continued to provide programming and services for teen patrons. And there was really no comments for that. It was self-explanatory. Measurements of success. A completion of phase 1 construction, teen patrons will have benefited from the continuation of programs and services during the construction project. The trustee comment: we congratulate congratulate the Needham Free Public Library staff for their tireless dedication to providing off-site programs during phase one of construction. More importantly, our staff did a great job of keeping the familiar materials available for all patrons during the construction phase of our programs. We delivered seamlessly. Great job, team. Programs, progress update. Completed programs were offered both on-site and off-site. On-site offerings included movies, viewings, craft programs, candle making workshops, and a gaming afternoon, while off-site programs included needle felting and with pop-up art writing workshops and Item, an indoor mini golf afternoon, and other craft programs at the Rosemary Recreation Complex funded by the library state aid. The trustee comment, the program goals were completed. The on-site and off-site programs are interesting and diverse, and we are able to accomplish these goals using library state aid. Okay. Goals review comments. The teen room will be a work in progress for at least this first year. We realize that the situation regarding measurable outcomes is fluid and subject to change as we monitor usage and expand policy for the room. We are approaching this one step at a time. However, we are compiling data to evaluate the room rates of usage by teens, i.e. on-site programs and general use for after-school studies, and the number of adults using the room during school hours. We are pleased to see the room has been well received and is a place that emerging adults feel is truly theirs. Moving forward, we hope to begin phase 2, 3, and 4 of our renovations, and the invaluable data that we are collecting can only bolster the Needham Free Public Library's plans. We applaud these efforts. Okay. And then there's another part of this, the strength of the library's branding. We had covered that in the director's report not too long ago. Create and implement a holistic communications plan for the library that includes all manners by which the library communicates with patrons and residents. Next part of that, in consultation with the town's director of communications, develop a Needham Free Public Library style guide and associated templates across formats to ensure all signs and promotional materials are consistent. Go back to the other page. The measurements of success. While the completion of this plan will be a multi-year project in FY26, we will measure success through improved signage, email communication, and the library website. The trustees' comments. We are encouraged that the Needham Free Public Library is looking to implement a holistic communications plan to evaluate how to better communicate with patrons and Needham residents. This is encouraging, and we look forward to its rollout. Along with that, signs and promotional materials used by the library will present a consistent style that enhances the effectiveness of the library's communication. Progress updates. In progress, this is in progress. By the end of June, the Needham Free Public Library Style Guide will be completed and staff training will begin to implement professional standards for signage, email communication, and the library website. Initial improvements have been made to the library newsletter and website. This action item will be included and expanded upon in the fiscal year 2027 action plan. also in progress. With a library-specific style guide in place in June 2026, the library will begin training staff members to create signs and promotional materials in order to implement consistent and professional standards. Goals review comments. The completion of the library style guide is an important accomplishment as part of the ongoing creation of an overall communications plan. The trustees also applaud the improvements to the public-facing platforms such as the website and newsletter. The input of a library communication consultant was a helpful part of this ongoing effort, and we look forward to further progress. We also support the library's efforts to incorporate more professional signage. Also with this, the trustees anticipate the improved and unified look for all public-facing library communications and appreciate the ongoing staff training efforts to move this project forward. We are pleased that the Needham Free Public Library is planning brochures in various languages to enhance the library experience and navigation of our library. We are pleased to know that an outside consultant, as well as library marketing consultant, will provide expert guidance. That is goal 3. Next up is goal 4. Kate, whenever you're ready.
Just turning on my audio. Yes. So goal 4 was providing access to an outstanding, diverse collection of materials for Needham patrons and understanding the importance of building and promoting representative collection. So much of these items that originally came under goal 4 were completed. The remaining one is anticipating ongoing need for accessible and current collections in various formats. And the major item that was attended to was the consultants that we hired to look at the archives. So as the report here says, the consultant will be hired, and as was reported to us a couple months ago, a great report was came out in terms of with giving many really valuable suggestions, I thought, to how our archives could be made to be more accessible and more organized. So our trustee comment is that this impressive report evaluating the current and future status of Needham's history archives will serve as a useful guide to making these valuable materials more accessible to the public. And in addition, the ongoing digitization of Needham newspapers and archives will improve public access to historic Needham news events. And the second item that was covered under goal 4 was the relocation of they did do weeding, completion, arranging of archives, collections, assets, and this work is in progress, 75% complete. This ongoing effort, trustee comment is ongoing effort in an important step in the process of organizing the local history collection for broader public use. Lastly is relocation of the large print collection, which, as we all know, was moved and moved again during the whole construction, and that was a very big job. I took a walk around it this weekend, and it's much more accessible and right up front where people can find it more easily, people with vision issues. And so this is completed. And our trustee comment is the relocation of the large print collection was a major endeavor as part of our larger commitment to improve accessibility of the library collections to reflect the full scope of Needham's population and beyond. So that was 3. That was it, I think. Was there anything further? Okay. So I did have a little bit more. They were also talking about, I said the trustees endorse and encourage similar efforts to continue to ensure our collections reflect that the library is a welcoming and affirming place for people of diverse identities, experiences, and backgrounds. So that was goal 4. Thanks.
Wow. That's KK Hill.
Oh, you're on mute.
Okay, you're muted.
I don't think
I-
she can hear.
Yes, I decided to try to summarize a little bit and, and all comments, if anybody wants to add, subtract, that's possible to do.
Yeah, I'll just say this is wonderful, Diana. You and Rob have done such great work this year and
Yes.
accomplished so much. And I know we're not done with the goals yet, but it's just really amazing to see all this work collected here and to hear all about the monumental efforts that you and the staff have done. So thank you very much.
Echo that. We all are so grateful.
And I think that the format that we're using is quite helpful, succinct, and, it just makes it easier for us to put this out to the general public, easier to digest format than just straight statistical data or just blah, blah, blah kind of thing. Appreciate that.
I just want to thank the acknowledgement as well, just to share the acknowledgement. It's not just Rob and myself, but also thanks to the whole staff. So, especially with the large print move, that was the whole library effort. Not just, I think Rob and I helped kind of make these into sentences, but I think the actual work was done by the staff. So,
Yes, thank you to the staff for their work in allowing the construction to happen and to move out everything twice or more. Thank you.
Right. With that being said, just the way you just said that, we talk about the library staff, and this is something I think we can pretty much all agree on, or people can disagree. This is a democracy. We have a lot of conversations regarding staff and how we as board members, this is really directed towards us, and this is what I'm trying to do is create a vehicle for us as a board to substantiate our statements that we want staff to recognize, that we recognize their hard work. So if there's what I was thinking, if we have, and people can, I would really invite comments. If there are people who want to, when we have people that retire or special things happen as a board, some kind of commendation or just something when someone retires, like you'll see those kinds of things when the governor would do it or the mayor of Boston would do it. They would do something special for their staff. And I just was trying to put something out there so when we have people, maybe not right now, but in the future, so we're looking towards the future, when we have people that are leaving our family, we want to be able to recognize them with something other than we wish you well in your future endeavors.
And maybe something to think about in particular with regard to Paula, as it relates to this
Yes.
Upcoming event. Kay, sometimes you have some thoughts about that, but she
Yeah.
deserves to be honored for.
So, we could potentially do like a trustee proclamation that has been done
Yeah.
to thank departing staffers who've been with us a long time, and so that might be a valuable thing to do.
Anybody else? Because we have like a tiny vote for it, so I wanted to make sure people were comfortable with that or just have some discussion.
I'm not sure I'm comfortable at this moment of committing to something because one, I'm not really sure what we would be committing to. Two, I think that there's an excellent way to thank them. It's very publicly and it's during our meetings, and we've done that many times. We continue to do it to current staff and departing staff when we hear about those. We also have the ability to attend those retirement parties.
Mm-hmm.
We always have the ability to do personal thanks. I'm not sure if I like the idea. I'm not saying I don't want to thank them. I'm just not sure if we need to really formalize it, I guess is my thought right now. And maybe it merits further discussion.
Well, that's a huge possibility because it was just, as you said, it was an idea.
Mm-hmm.
And just we spend so much time saying and saying and saying, and we appear, but it's always nice that somebody has something to take away too. So that's just an added layer. If we find or people feel that it's not necessary, then that's fine too. We can couch that for a later time, but just to
Well,
put it
may I
out.
add one thing? What Megan said just said made me think that, maybe we should set some kind of standards for like who gets one and who doesn't, because maybe we need a required number of years, or we should set it
Right.
up and maybe a little more with some parameters, so that we're not honoring somebody and overlooking somebody else, that sort of thing. So
That's why I like being on this board. Okay, why don't we, well, we don't have to vote on that.
Well, yeah, we can table it for now. It's
Table
a
it.
great idea.
Yeah.
I would think something that was a little more formalized, like Kay said, because,
Yeah.
if we just said sure, and then we were inconsistent with that, or we forgot, we wouldn't want to disappoint anybody who was expecting something. So, I think that's a good point, Kay.
Thank you, Clay. So we'll table that for now and move on to our next item.
You did skip a few to get
I
down
did?
to there. Yeah, so
What did I
it
do?
was supposed to be the 2027 action plan and then that.
Yeah.
So, but that's okay. We can go back up to it.
Well, that's kind of good because if Rob Pettit had to leave and we were going to vote on something,
I think we're way ahead of schedule. I shouldn't say that, but
Have you
Knock on wood,
have you
knock on
been to
wood.
these meetings before?
no, it's not. These aren't like the town meeting members. The meetings. Those are different. I remember leaving at 12:30 a.m. Okay, let's see. Sorry about that, Diana. Let's take a look at would you go over the 2027 action plan?
Yes.
The draft of the 2027 action plan?
So this is the draft for the FY 2027 action plan. I think this has been mentioned several times before. It's going to be relatively much shorter than the past action plans because our big focus is going to be working on the strategic plan. So a lot of our efforts are going to be, doing focus groups, working with the community, getting feedback from staff, from community partners. So that's going to take a lot of our time this next year. So this is relatively much more succinct. So compared to what we had in the past, we had 20 or so action items. This particular one only has 12.
Ooh.
And a lot of them are things that we are rolling over or carrying over from the previous fiscal year that we weren't able to complete or still in progress. So this is the last year for the current strategic plan. The first one under the first goal, which is provide a seamless, efficient, equitable, and outstanding user experience. We're focusing on goal 1 and 3 because goal 2 is complete. So for objective 1, priority action item, the first one is going to be finish reviewing and updating policies and related procedures. So I think the past couple of years we've been working on that. So this upcoming fiscal year we'll be working on.
We were doing those policies on a regular schedule.
Yeah.
We put that on hold
We put that on hold because
during this evaluation.
I think it was partially that and also partially because there was so much time being used up by the construction.
Mm-hmm.
But like there was so much staff time being used up by the construction that there wasn't the bandwidth to do policies.
Yeah. So this would be a good year to kind of look at what else is that still needs to be
Well, we had like a spreadsheet of all of the, like schedule, like the high priority, medium priority, low priority ones.
And which are the ones we've done recently and which are the ones
Correct.
that need to be done? Okay.
so there's a few upcoming, I think in the next fiscal year, finishing out some of these policies would be something that I think is very doable. The next action item is to continue to grow staff cultural engagement and understanding by offering specific training using demographic data and staff insights, develop equity, diversity, inclusion, and belonging competencies. So the measurement of success would be staff have benefited from training and continue to create a welcoming environment for the library for all. So this is just continuing some of our training, and I think continuing on this current fiscal year, finished our customer service standards. So expanding on that customer service standards and looking at the DEIB competencies would be what we hope to do this coming year. The next action item is to, with trustee, staff, and community input and involvement, develop the FY 2028-2032 strategic plan for trustee approval next year, June 2027. So as I said, this is going to be a big project.
Yeah.
And the measurement of success will be the strategic plan has been developed with stakeholder input and approved by the trustees for implementation beginning in FY 2028. Goal 1, objective 3, ensure staff will be appropriately allocated throughout the organization. The action item is to, having completed a staffing workflow assessment to guide administration in determining unmet needs and service improvements, assess and improve workflow and efficiencies across departments. The measurement of success would be library departments will benefit from improved workflows. This fiscal year, we sent a survey to all staff to better understand their workflow. Rob and I have been meeting with supervisors to discuss some of those results, and we've begun to make some changes based on this, but we're still working on those. So we hope to complete this in FY 27. Goal 2, our focus is on one objective, which is grow the library's visibility and position as the heart of the community. This is again a rollover from the previous action.
Can I just make a typo thing?
Yeah.
Sorry, in the objective of the goal 1 goes from objective 1 to objective 3, because I know objective 2 is finished.
Yes.
So we should probably just change it to 1 and 2, because the old 2 is now gone.
It's based on the goal 3 on this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we took out.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
It matches what was
It
set
matches
up,
the strategic plan as
Yeah.
opposed to.
not
numbers.
the order, but just.
Okay.
So it's,
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
we had initially put like 1 and then 2 completed, but.
Otherwise, the numbering doesn't look quite right.
Exactly, right, that's exactly my point, yeah.
Yeah, so you'll see other examples too where some of the
Okay.
numbers are omitted, but I think it's consistently omitted. So we just took out things that were completed.
I wonder if that just needs to be referenced somewhere then.
It might not be bad if you were to put a line in that just said to completed.
Okay.
It might be nice to
Yeah.
see it, and then like, we can all be like, hooray, we've done that one.
Yeah, so
and
sort of
we
like,
did
why
that.
is the number skipped?
Right.
Yeah, so it would just be easy in week 2,
All
just
right.
say completed or whatever, and everything else can be grayed out.
Okay.
It doesn't need anything other
Yeah.
than that.
So we'll include the objective and then we'll put just completed so that.
Yeah, or even just number 2 completed.
Okay.
I don't think we need more than that, but up to you what feels better for you from an optics perspective.
Good. Great. And then, so goal 2, objective 1, this is again, we're going over, the action item from previous action, fiscal years. So this is developing a proactive community outreach plan. We want to make sure that it's a good one, so we are taking our time to make sure that it is a holistic and all-inclusive outreach plan. So this will be finalized and implemented in FY 2027. The next one is also something we're rolling over that we didn't complete in FY 26, which is assess and develop an adult programming plan that is of interest to the legal community. The measurement of success would be a plan that encompasses staff-led and paid programming for adult patrons and balances staff and financial resources will be used to enhance offerings. So that summer reading program for adults would definitely be included as part of this. The third goal is to offer a user experience catered to specific wants and needs of the new community. We are focusing on objective 4, which is strengthening the library's branding and marketing. The action item is to create and implement a holistic communications plan for the library that includes all manners by which the library communicates with patrons and residents. The measurement of success will be, while the completion of this plan will be a multi-year project in FY 2027, we will measure success through improved signage and email communication. Goal 4, the goal is to provide access to an outstanding diverse collection of materials. The focus is on objective 1, anticipate an ongoing need for accessible and current collection in various formats. So in FY 26, we did the consultation, we had the report. And so in this next fiscal year, we're using that report to begin the work based on those recommendations. And then goal 5, the focus is on objective 1. The goal is to ensure staff is well trained and fluent in analytic resources to provide the best collection of materials for the community. The objective is to evaluate and standardize collection development practices. This is both of these are a continuation of FY 26 action items. The first one is to review subscription database usage in order to implement additional marketing opportunities. And then the measurement of success is to assess which of those databases are used or not used enough and how we can best promote those databases. And then the next one is to update our collection development policy and standardize our process. We started the collection development policy, but realized it's a much bigger project, especially with now things like what do we do with books that are produced by AI, how do we include that? So I think just being a little bit more thoughtful about how we develop this policy. So that's for goal 5. And then the last goal is to allocate time and resources to explore the future use of interior and exterior space and design. The focus on objective 2 and 3. Objective 2 is reorganize the children's room. We'll be working with the trustees and other library supporters to make the best case for the town to provide funding in FY 2028. Design phase 2, the renovation of the children's apartment. So the measurement of success is that in May 2027, funding for the design of phase 2 is approved at annual town meeting. And then the third objective is to emphasize sustainability in any plans. If grant funds become available, continue to work with the town's sustainability manager on the location and installation of EV charging stations at the library. This is a continuation from the FY 26 action item. And the measurement system would be if grant funds become available to the town, a plan for installation of EV charging stations at the library will be developed and possibly implemented. So those are 12 action items for FY 2027. As you can see, it's much shorter than our previous action plan from previous fiscal years because I think even though it's a shorter list, the projects are quite large as well. So.
A couple comments, if that's all right. For goal 1, objective 3, you've done a workflow assessment. It'd be great if we could see the results or hear from that, such that we could use it in an advocating one, especially for the new team person. Or am I misunderstanding what this one is?
So this is more of a workflow assessment.
Not
so it's more like what are the tasks that you typically do?
Got it.
And what could we do as a library to help make the workflow more efficient? Could, the cart be moved somewhere else? Like, are there paperwork that could be eliminated, so it's more workforce management.
It's, I see that now as I
Yeah.
look at it again, I can see that it is, allocation of current staff, when I know that we had talked about an analysis of staff
Full-time versus
need, yeah, all
part-time.
that. So I was confusing that in my head.
But it's interesting to think about it, because again, I'm happy to keep pushing with the hope that we can persuade the town to do phase two sooner than was reflected in that thing. But if the reality is that that's maybe on hold for a while, maybe that's an opportunity to use the next fiscal year to push for other funds we might have been looking for, such as with regard to the staffing full-time versus part-time, or things that we weren't sure if that was realistic, on top of phase two. Maybe nothing's realistic,
I
I get
didn't
it.
talk about the part of the finance committee presentation where he talked about the highest costs is benefits, and that is why we are adding any employees. Now, a part-time employee doesn't have benefits, so that seems like something we should be able to argue maybe successfully for.
But maybe it's an ask that we can do in the
Yeah.
meantime if we can't
Yeah.
expect to get the larger
Right.
funding on the
And then-
children's area.
My other comment was just on the children's room, I would maybe change the measurement of success given what it seemed like. I mean, I guess it's okay if it's not met, but maybe it would be something with, instead of focusing on the best case for the town for the funding, maybe think of, and up to your and Rob's and the new children's supervisor's discretion as to whether it's worth spending some time thinking about how you may want to best utilize that space. Obviously, we would hire architects and things like that, but maybe it would be a plan for a reorganization rather than efforts on the town, which we should still do anyway.
Is the
So
Murray Fund available for that sort of use?
that's what we were thinking. Yeah, I think that would
Okay.
fall, as a lawyer, I think that would fall
All right, you
within
guys are on
that.
top of it.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
worded fairly
So-
broadly, as long as it's not routine, recurring maintenance
Right.
and things like that.
So, and also, I think we're waiting to hear from library leadership, Diane and Rob, about what the plan will be for approaching the town again for the phase two children's room. And I know that you folks, Diane and Rob, need to consult with Liz Rossi and with the town manager. And so, do we have an idea of like when we, the trustees, may hear about? Are we going to try to move forward with that? Would you, when? I think we're waiting to hear about that, what the plan is.
I think that's a great opportunity to focus on regrouping. I think we haven't done that yet. And I think just looking at regrouping and looking at what the timeline is, and then we can get back to the trustees and see.
Okay, because I think we are needing some kind of leadership on that and some, a plan. So we all can know what it is we might want to be advocating for, right?
Well, we had already put together some thoughts, and I think at some point we're gonna, whatever our expectations are of success this year or next year or whatever, we should start the process of communicating, directly with the town that collects the information and makes the case to support, moving into phase two as quickly as possible.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't heard yet whether we, the library, are definitely going to make that kind of request. So that, I guess that's something we're kind of waiting to hear.
Otherwise, great. Those are my only two comments. I think this
Thank you.
is
Those are very helpful.
excellent. Thank you.
Any further discussion?
Seems smart and great.
I think it's very well thought out. I think, as I said before, I'm glad that as this board, we are capable of digesting material, then finding something else that we're just trying to make sure we're doing the best we can to support this library. And I think we're all on the same page with that. Okay. Let's see that we have the discussion and vote, feedback requests on select board goals. Is that also you there, Diana?
Yes, so I think Rob attached the select board vision, goals, and initiatives. And last year, the
Bless you.
trustees wrote a letter.
Yes.
So if that's something that is the plan, it is something that the trustees want to do. The deadline for submitting that letter is June 18th.
Can you share a copy? Does someone have easy access to the letter that we submitted last year? It's somewhere, but I'd be curious to see it as a reference.
Right.
I don't have easy access at the moment, but that's something we can send out
Okay.
sometime.
We can
this
find,
week. Yeah.
yeah.
So that's,
Is there any particular reference to the library? I'm just skimming it.
Rob, did you and Earhart do that last year?
I think we did. I will need to go back through my files and take a look. If I can find that, I'll forward it to everybody.
Okay, that would be,
Just looking through the goals that the select board sent out, we clearly had, I think we had referenced that the library is useful, especially in like goal 1, like about like recreational and cultural activities in town. And if I recall correctly, like line goal 3, which was livable, which was like about like an attractive place to live and work and stuff like that. Like how the library contributes to the goals that the select board was looking into. I don't remember the exact wording, but it was around those things. Because this document looks very similar to last year's document that the
And there's an
select board
opportunity,
sent out.
of course, to mention how
Right.
the teen center
Correct.
fulfills some of these goals as well.
I guess the only question I have is, and I'm gonna not volunteer for this because this is not something I'm good at, is if this is due on June 18th, someone's gonna have to quickly put something together and send it out to us via email so we can.
Maybe if we see last year's letter, it might not be that hard.
I don't disagree with that,
Yeah.
right, but.
Yeah, ordinarily I'd volunteer because, writing this kind of stuff is up my alley, but I'm away all next week. I'm sick this week and I'm away next week, so I'm not in a great position to do it.
Rob, you think you and I could put something together?
Yeah, the next week is going to be a little nuts for me, but I'd be happy to assist with that. And I did, by the way, just find the letter that we sent to them last year, so I can send that out to the trustees. We can review, use that as a starting point.
And I can help out also, Robert.
So the 3 of us, yeah, that would be good, just to make sure we reach that timeline there. Joshua, I appreciate that
I'm happy to admit that is not what I'm good at.
I was gonna say, there's something you can't do?
I have plenty of things I cannot do, but thank you.
I got great faith in you.
Mike.
You got it.
Yeah, I'll do with that.
Oh.
12 seconds.
So do we actually have to vote on this?
Not at this point.
Not at this point. It seemed kind of strange because we weren't real sure how to go about it. So same thing with the other thing.
Yep.
Michael, I have a question though. Can you vote on, should you be voting on accepting the draft that will be circulated since it doesn't have to be approved now if you're gonna send it for the 18th?
We can vote via email as well.
Yeah. I
just
think,
wanna make
is that possible to vote via email?
I believe we can.
I don't think we can.
You don't think so?
I don't
don't
think
know.
that's not an open meeting.
Yeah, I don't think so. No.
So we would have to have a special meeting.
So we should either have to have a special meeting or we can just vote to accept whatever.
Yeah, vote to accept the draft.
The
draft,
I was thinking
okay.
based on the 3 people who
Yeah.
are going to.
A letter based on list,
Yeah,
Okay, so,
all right, so,
so
I make a motion to have designated volunteers, Michael, Rob, and Jay, draft a letter based on last year's letter to the select board, pointing out the ways in which the library can help with the select board's goals. Does that sound right?
I second that. That was a motion, right?
That was,
Yes.
yes.
And
Discuss-
I think that's a good idea. I think that, we trust you. We know you've all been on the board for a while, and we know you can represent us well.
Go ahead.
I'm
Some
just, it makes
discussion?
me a little nervous. I don't know if this is, what we should do
I think
without,
I've done it before.
we have,
Yeah.
without knowing what the content is.
We've had special meetings before too.
Yes, but a couple times we've done it because
Because
the
of-
letter has a deadline. There isn't time to have a special meeting, and you trust your fellow trustees, for one of a better
I mean,
word.
couldn't we throw together a Zoom and we all jump on a Zoom after we've drafted it and take
That would be the
notes?
special.
So that'd be the special meeting,
Right.
but
And that
Oh,
has
but do we
be-
have to put notifications?
Yes, put
and stuff?
notifications
Yeah,
and
and
stuff,
that,
yeah.
and so
Got
you
it.
can't just do it
Yeah.
like informally.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And that, we've not done it a lot, Megan, from my memory of doing the
What sort of
minutes.
notification requirement is there?
72 hours, and it has to be posted from town hall.
Yeah.
It also can't be fully remote.
so
No,
that's,
but
Can't be fully remote anymore,
it's conceivable to
Is that next
plan to have a
Friday?
special
but we
meeting.
can't do it remote, so.
Oh, you
we
can't
also
do it
have to
remote.
No.
schedule
Remote
it.
anymore.
Oh, that's not so easy.
no.
Yeah, okay.
So is next Friday the
The 18th
18th
is
is
next
next
Thursday.
Thursday?
Oh,
Okay.
geez.
I know.
Yeah, that's why this would have to be kind of voted on.
I don't know that the letter,
Okay, yeah,
Isn't that
I'm
necessary
okay,
also?
like, I think it's okay.
And Megan, it's not been done for like things that are completely new,
Sure,
that have
yeah.
no,
Right,
There's a
Draft.
reference.
We may
Yeah.
have actually even done it for last year's letter of the same type, because the same thing came up.
it's possible.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wonder if we
And
should
last
make-
year's letter was very similar to the 2024 letter, for what it's worth.
Last year was similar to 2024 letter, is that what you said?
Yes.
We're just bringing the same letter forward every year?
Rob,
We've been in this situation before.
Yeah.
You'll send us, Rob, a copy of the letter? You'll distribute
Yeah,
it?
I'm sending right now.
Okay, thank you.
to avoid it in the future, you could just decide to keep it on your agenda in April and write it.
well, right, but this was also adopted in August, so there was no reason for us to wait this long. Like it says here that the vision goals initiatives were adopted in August, so we could just make sure it's standing on our April, absolutely, April or March or anything before that, so, okay, it's all right, I'm okay. Thank you all.
That's
for
good you brought it up, because
moving
now it's
through.
like,
There we go,
There's
it's now planned for the future.
yes, exactly.
Megan is, this is why.
When you're sharing it.
Okay, exactly.
All right, great,
April.
you can move on to the,
So we're gonna vote.
oh,
to
we were gonna vote, yeah.
Yes. Okay, so from all of what Josh had just said, I don't think I can repeat it
We've
all.
already had the motion on the table, yeah. we
Okay,
can
so
just-
Kay Cahill,
Aye.
Jay Fialkoff,
Aye.
Megan Small,
Aye,
Joshua Small,
Aye.
Rob Pettit,
Aye.
and myself, Michael O'Neill, aye.
all righty.
Passes unanimously. We will look at that, and thank you, Rob, for checking into that and forwarding that to all of us.
Sure.
So we'll get together. We'll have to get together very quickly, just to digest this and put this forward. And let me just ask this, before we send it, we should send it out to all of our fellow board members so that they can,
There it is.
if there's any additional comments,
Got it.
so you guys get it and get to chime in.
How does that work, Rob? Do you remember in terms of the public meeting and sharing a letter for comments?
I mean, we can share a letter in the sense that we send out meeting materials. But we can't be like soliciting comments via email. Like any feedback that we get, I believe, because that's a deliberation, has to be discussed at a special meeting.
Right, so it's just this will be just for informational purposes, not for us to make comments, to discuss and make comments on.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Glad we quantified that. That's good. That's good. All right then. Now we can go into some old business here. Kay, how about any update on the Library Arts Exhibits Committee report?
Yeah, so we don't need any votes tonight, but we do have currently, I hope all of you have seen or will have a chance to see Sharif Muhammad, a big, beautiful, colorful exhibit from this Boston artist. It's really one of the more spectacular exhibits we've had. Um, and so he's here for the month of June. We have done a fair amount of publicity around him. I've been doing social media, and we're hoping to attract a good audience. July, August, we have, thanks to Megan, we have Dan Hutu Levine, who is doing photography. Thank you, Megan, for recommending him. He's very interested and beautiful work. And then September, we have, oh, a second, I missed somebody. Oh, Ariel Shoemaker will be in the cases. Thank you to Josh for recommending her beautiful mosaic work. So we are having quite a parade of great art. There's a lot of good artists in this area. And then September brings watercolor artist Kevin Gillespie. Do I have that all right, Gay?
I've got it up on the screen.
Looks wonderful.
Yeah, great,
Yeah.
great work to the art.
Yeah, Kevin Gillespie. That's yeah. So we have a lot of different variety and coming our way for the next several months.
I do have the October one if you want to see that one.
Which one?
Judith Horowitz.
Oh yes, in October. Yes. So Judith does large abstract oils, and she also does ceramics. So she's coming in October. So her work is also unusual and interesting.
How far in advance have we voted already?
We pretty much.
We're set.
For the year. We're set for the year.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we usually host the Needham Art Association for November and December.
And we're already starting to work on next year. So if anybody has other artists they want to recommend, we're all ears.
Yeah, and the display really is gorgeous. I recommend people come and look at it too. I love the colors of the Sharif Muhammad display right now. It's really awesome.
If we get out of here early enough, you might be able to do it. Okay, anything else?
No, that's all. Thank you.
There you go. Any trustee comments? Okay. Megan, the McIver series.
Yes, not a huge update. I did meet with Rob McLean, talked to him. We've got some ideas that we're looking at, and we will have more to come soon. So that's all for me.
I will support you 1,000%.
Well, thank you.
Definitely. I know how that is.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Megan. Jay, the Friends of the Library, any update?
They have a meeting next week. I know they had a successful book sale the last weekend of May. And there's been some discussion with Rob about a possible arrangement to bring in as a guest speaker Nathaniel Philbrick. I'm not sure if you've heard of him. He wrote a bestseller about Mayflower and popular historian, has a new book out about the California Gold Rush. He's on a book tour. Rob and the library staff thought we could reach out and get him while he's on tour. And so far, I don't know if it's been a final word, but it seems like it's going to be happening in November.
November 17th.
November 17th.
Oh. Yeah,
And
that would be
so-
wonderful. He's a major writer, and that would be great.
The plan would be to have it at Town Hall, not a mega event like with Doris Kearns Goodwin where there were ticket sales and sponsors, but basically just a larger version of those Sunday things that they have at the community room. So anyway, the plans are moving forward tentatively to finalize those arrangements. Sounds like a very, very exciting opportunity.
Any trustee comments to that or questions? I just wanted to digress for a hot minute because I don't think Kay knew that I had brought you didn't mention that there was a price listing for your artist, and I brought that here, just so if people wanted to see it, they can see the artwork upstairs, but also a tribute.
I am contemplating a purchase, so don't steal mine.
I shouldn't have brought this. How dare you?
You're turning it into an auction.
I'm telling you.
Very well, thank you, because we get 10% that goes toward.
There you go.
Yes.
This is all the whole idea. All right.
Michael, I have a question.
Yes,
Sorry,
you-
because did you actually vote on September and October yet for the artists? Because it's not in the notes from May.
That was my.
I specifically remember voting on Judith Hurwitz and Kevin
Maybe
Gillespie.
earlier.
So, yeah, I
Maybe
think we
earlier.
did it earlier in the year, not
I
May.
just want to make sure there's no
Yeah.
issue.
I definitely recall
we did.
voting on like Ariel and.
We did that last time because it's in May.
Yeah, we
but
did.
I didn't roll in front of me.
Yeah, we definitely did. If we
Okay.
look back, I'd have to check back actually exactly which day which month we did it, but I do know that we did.
Okay, I just want to make sure it's in order. I'll check it too.
Yep.
Sorry.
Okay, we can
No,
double check.
That's great. That's why we're here. Okay.
Thank you, Faith, for bringing that up. Yep.
You're welcome.
And Joshua too. Okay, the Library Foundation, Rob Pettit.
Sure, just a quick update from me. There was a foundation meeting on May 20th. They are still working on kind of cleaning up and filing some tax elections with the IRS. There was a discussion about enhancing the database for their mailings and kind of modernizing that process. Then finally, they are looking for potentially adding an attorney and or a fundraiser to the LFN board. So if anybody's aware of anybody who might be a good fit for that board, by all means, please do reach out to Kathy DiDesio. And I'm sure that they'd be interested in meeting with anybody that you might know.
So, did you say we need they need a lawyer and a fundraiser? Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's, as a board, they're looking for different competencies, and those are two kind of profiles that they're evaluating right now for potential additions.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Rob. Any trustee comments? Okay, what's left is a motion to adjourn. Is this really happening?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay.
Aye.
Hey, Hill, I didn't even have to say your name.
Oh, I thought you did.
KK,
Aye.
Jay Fialkoff,
Aye.
Megan Small,
Aye.
Joshua Small,
Aye.
Rob Pettit,
Aye.
myself, Michael O'Neill, aye. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank